Celestia and her sister Luna have ruled over Equestria for over 1,000 years, and are praised as the Alicorn of the sun and moon. Clearly they are the sun and moon gods, right? What if I told you were wrong, and I'll prove it? Get your kid's ass out of here. Hello, I'm Discord Jedi Knight, and today we're talking about my favorite ponies. I'm kidding, I can't stand Celestia for reasons I've made clear in this video you can check out after this one. But I do like Luna at least. However, they're not gods, and I'll tell you why. No, this isn't some conspiracy theory. Either this is actually fact-based within the canon MLP material itself. They have often been claimed by the fandom as gods of the MLP universe. And I mean, how could they not, am I right? Look at how long they have been around. We don't even know how long exactly they have lived, but we do know thanks to Discord being stone for 1,000 years, and since Celestia and Luna are the ones that turned him to stone originally, they are indeed quite old, not to mention the fact that Celestia was there as Ponyville was being founded. We know that from Granny Apple's stories, and she's pretty old, yet Celestia still was in her prime. And for that matter, Luna was banished to the moon for 1,000 years. Just so they live a long time, they have to be gods, right? Wrong. Let's get into the facts, shall we? For one, everyone considers sun but the sun goddess. However, we know from the show itself that the sun existed before Celestia. She is not the god of it. Oftentimes in mythology, the subject of the god doesn't exist without the god. Like Zeus with lightning, for example, or Egyptian Ra being the sun god. If something happens to Ra, there goes the sun. Well, multiple times stuff happens to Celestia and nothing happens to the sun, except it doesn't move. Why? Because she uses magic to move the sun. She is not the sun herself. But she never died, I hear you say. Yeah, but here's the counter to that. The sun is said to exist before her, done. Before her, it is said that star swirls, work and possibly others before even him, would gather up several unicorns who would then use their magic to raise the sun and or the moon. But it would take so much magic that it would often rain them, so much it would cost them all their magic, if not their life. But needed to, or else the sun wouldn't grow their crops. Which is why unicorns were in charge of the sun, and moon, Pegasus Eye the weather, and the earth ponies the crops. And goddamn yes, earth ponies all had their own magic. However, there are other YouTubers who explain that, so I let it go for now. Maybe one day I'll do a video, but let's stay on topic. That's the thing, and LP unicorns, unless specifically born with high levels, are not actually that strong. Actually, one of my favorite LP YouTubers, Star Strike, did a video explaining this topic, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. But essentially the unicorns were very weakened. It wasn't until a powerful young alicorns with magic 100 times stronger was able to move it on their own. Being an alicorn and a princess, Celestia was very strong, and since this was clearly her calling, so to her strength the mark on her ass was the sun. Yay, I'm not going to call it by its LP name. It's an Astat to deal with it. Her sister Luna was also given the moon and stars to move, hence her Astat. But you say she's an alicorn. Alicorns must be gods then. No, alicorns are often seen as princess for a reason. And I know religion often connects kings and queens are often depicted as living mortal deities who eventually ascend. So they're gods. But I actually have a better answer as to what they are. But for a sec, I must ask. Well, what is Twilight then? Okay, does that mean she's the god of the sun and moon too? And I mean, when Luna was in prison, Celestia aided both. If she's the god of the sun, should she only be able to move the sun? Here's the thing about alicorns, are extremely rare. And while yes, I know the whole Sky Rose thing, it's true Celestia and Luna did come to Equestria from Sky Rose, but that doesn't mean they were born alicorns. Alicorns seem to often be ones who can ascend by doing something important. Like Twilight, or yes, that one. Speaking of alicorns, if they are gods, then what the hell is Flurry Heart the god of? Or demigod, because she is half-mortal. Yet if she is a god, why do we not call her a half-god? Why is it always just Princess Flurry Heart? My answer, T-Higher, not gods. But if in going to do this video I have to bring up all evidence, even against my point. So here they are. There are many examples of demigods or mortals ascending to become gods in other mythology. So yes, Twilight is a god, and so are Luna and Celestia, you say. Okay, then why did they give Twilight the job of sun and moon and retire? I hear you say they just wanted a break. Okay, if it's going on vacation, it's not retirement. And like I already stated, the sun and moon can be moved by anyone with enough magic. Hell, Discord does it easily. Fact is, Celestia throughout the show does almost nothing, and my theory as to why that is because she uses her energy moving the sun, so clearly that's training her, and we know the moon Luna because in the latter seasons we learn how tired she is after she does it. So they probably gave Twilight the job because guess what, they're old, they're tired. And T-High are never coming back, hell, they're dying. They're not immortal, they're not gods. So with all the evidence, I must ask you, whereas it said she's a god, nowhere except by the fandom. She was never a god. In fact, the only god that has been MLP, not counting the comics, has been the Lord of Chaos. Otherwise, they would have said as such in the show itself. Alright, so if that's the fact, why is Celestia and Luna so old and yet so young? How can they outlive so many ponies, and are they immortal? Well, if you look old fantasy stories, there's usually one or two, or 100 really, of people who are able to live so long because of natural connection to magic. And there's your answer. Luna and Celestia are wizards. Just like Twilight and Star Swirl. They're all wizards, and thus all have grand, powerful magic that makes them live far longer than normal lives, Olicorns being extremely strong forms of wizards, and thus Twilight will 100% outlive her friends, but nothing says she or any of the Olicorns are actually immortal, and thus would eventually pass on. That also answers the situation for all the other Olicorns, too. If they were immortal, they wouldn't be able to die. Yet Celestia and Luna often able to be injured. And while I'm not the biggest D5 fan, I don't consider it canon. This would explain why they're not around then either. And as for why that one is just because she didn't use her powers, draining her constantly, till death like the other two did. Magic is like anything really. You have to strengthen it. It can be trained. But you can be born with it. It's like the ability to run. Some are born with fast legs and can run fast. Others have to train but can run just as fast. There is a balance of training, though. If you overdo it, you die, or never do it, you lose your strength. Same with magic. From all accounts, Luna and Celestia are not immortal gods. T-High are just powerful wizards who ruled over Equestria for a few thousand years. Big deal. But who's actually more powerful? Another video idea, perhaps. I mean, Discord is clearly stronger, able to mess with the sun and moon with ease while they struggle to push it around. I'll talk about that another day. Thank you all for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And click here to see why Celestia is so overrated it's not even funny. She is just lame. With said, don't forget my friend. That friendship is magic.